Next up, Kendall Coleman versus Fernie Silva at the 157-pound matchup. IU with an early advantage, and Silva going to try and continue that against a very talented wrestler, number 6 in the nation, 21-6 overall record for the redshirt freshman.
Yes, Coleman, just like Silva, is very athletic and very fast. They both have a lot of slick offense. But the advantage with Coleman here is that he has a lot of power behind his moves. He is very good at moving his opponents around. Silva, more of a slick wrestler, likes to get to his duck unders and really trick his opponent.
Coleman's been the breakout wrestler, I think, this year for Purdue. Redshirt freshman won his first 15 matches of the season. That was the best career start in Purdue history.
Fernie Silva in on a single leg, and he gets the takedown.
What a start for Silva there. Against the highly talented guys you're mentioning, Griffin. Yep. IU wanted to get the momentum started early. And Silva gets the takedown.
Coleman in on a single leg here, likely looking to get the reversal.
He's trying to do just that.
This position ends up in a reversal for Coleman.
It is going to be 2 points now, 2-2.
That was a good start, though, for Silva to be able to get some momentum. He's just 7-12 on the year. He struggled for the most part in the early part of the season, the senior.
Silva getting the escape point there, 3-2 now. As both of them having a very, very aggressive start.
Yeah, as you can see, both of them have a lot of speed behind their offense and defense.
Halfway through this first period.
Fernie doing a good job of matching the level of Coleman. He's very good at changing levels, and that's something that Silva's able to match up with. And now Silva in on a single leg here. As Coleman rolls him through, a danger count coming now. Coleman comes out behind, working for a takedown of his own now. Silva hanging onto that ankle, now coming up, trying to get his hips higher than Coleman's as they roll around. Silva, they keep scrambling. Wow.
A change in advantage almost every second there. Still 3-2 in favor of Silva.
Silva still with an ankle here, no takedown yet. It is very close. And there's the takedown for, I believe, Coleman, yes.
It is going to be 2 points for Coleman, 4-3 advantage now.
Both these wrestlers are wrestling so aggressive. You can tell this is a rivalry matchup. Both these guys want it so badly.
30 seconds in this first period remaining. A reversal on the takedown so far for Coleman, and a takedown and an escape. Looking for a second one here is Silva with 15 seconds left.
Yes, this is an important 10 seconds at the end of the first period. If Silva is able to get an escape here and tie it up 4-4, that would help.
He's got 11 seconds to do just that. After they both went out of bounds. IU holding a 3-0 lead after a strong opening win from Graham Rooks. He's trying to get out. He's got about 4 seconds to get out.
That should be, there wasn't really much of an offensive attempt to return Silva back down to the mat. I would have been looking for a stall call there.
Don't believe one was called.
Nope, there was not one.
And now it's going to go into the second period with a 4-3 edge for Coleman over Silva. He's going to start in the defensive, Coleman is. And Silva's going to look to try and switch that riding time back over to his favor after he started out with about a 20-second edge towards the beginning of this match.
Advantage for Silva. He's a lot of experience, a senior, and he knows the experience of rivalry matches as well. Actually got one of IU's 3 victories last year at Purdue and West Lafayette as he knocked off Parker Filius, who we'll see later wrestle for Purdue.
Silva maintaining his position on top.
Working a tight waist and wrist control here, flattening out Coleman and hopefully looking for a turn to get some near fall points here, which would be big.
Coleman, on the other hand, trying to get out on 2 feet. And he does get that escape point. 5-3 now as they go into neutral position.
See Silva clap his hands in frustration. Needs to stay focused here and get this to a third round. We saw with Rooks, you never know what will happen in the last minute when both wrestlers are tired and it's all about guts and adrenaline.
Both wrestlers feeling each other out, trying to get this edge in the last 45 of the second period. 2-point edge, 5-3 for Coleman, who is number 6 in the nation. So Silva holding his own against one of the more talented guys in the country.
And again, you saw there, Coleman was down on his knees looking to get to Silva's legs, and Fernie matched that, dropped down to his knees as well, and that stopped Coleman from being able to get to his offense. And there's Silva's duck under right to a takedown on the out-of-bounds line, tying it up at 5-5 with just 22 seconds left in the second period.
You mentioned it, power for Coleman, slickness for Silva, and he got out and was able to get the takedown right there. It makes it 5-5 with 22 seconds in this second period. It's going to be Silva on top here.
And again, this end of the period ride out is critical. If he's able to ride this out, keep the match tied at 5-5, go into the third period with choice, then he's able to take hopefully a 6-5 advantage if he chooses bottom and gets away quickly.
He's trying to maintain it, and we see it. If Coleman could try and get the escape in the final 5-6 seconds, trying to do that, and he does it just in time.
And there's the escape with 2 seconds left.
Huge for Coleman right there. He was able to do something Silva could not in the first period, get the escape point very late on. And that means now Silva has choice, chooses to go on the defensive. What's the rationale there for Silva?
As long as he's able to get away quickly, they'll tie it up at 6-6, and we'll be back to the neutral game where Silva has beaten him 2 takedowns to 1 so far this match. So that's a position that he's likely looking to win the match from.
Silva currently down 6-5. The escape point vital to keep this match close for him. Gets onto his feet, trying to work his way out from Coleman.
Big lift and return there for Coleman.
A lot of power right there showcased from him. And riding time could become a factor. It's been cut down from about 48 seconds, now down to just under 15.
And you can see Coleman's not having very many gas tank issues like Perriott was last match. He's keeping into this match with his efforts and not showing very many signs of fatigue.
Coleman flips the riding time into his squad's favor, and he's trying to get his squad back level, currently down 3-0. Silva trying to do the opposite. One escape and it's back even, but he's got to get that. What's the key to get this escape in the final minute?
He needs to be able to get his base back up. He's a little low to the ground here. He's trying to get wrist control so that Coleman can't keep his arms tied up. As long as he's able to get to rear standing, he can get control of Coleman's wrists and get away quickly.
Coleman's been so consistent this year, 14-0 against unranked opponents like Silva, and you're seeing why right now.
And there's a stall call on Coleman, likely for riding parallel there. Not doing much of an effort to work for a turn there against Silva. Only just trying to keep him down and keep him ridden out, which is not much of an offensive effort there.
Seems smart, though, by the redshirt freshman out of South Holland, Illinois.
Very smart. He's able to afford giving up a stall call as long as he doesn't give up another one in these next 30 seconds.
He has 38 seconds to try and ride it out. And if he's able to do that, he'd seal a 7-5 decision for his squad and bring them level. But it's Silva who's got a chance to try and get out. He gets onto his feet,
and there's
he gets the escape point.
Match is tied 6-6.
No edge on riding time, and they're out of play now.
Out of bounds, an action call, no stall call on either side.
And the stall could become a big deal.
It could become a factor later on. As if we move on past these last 25 seconds of the third period and into overtime, it could become a factor.
6-6 between Silva and Coleman in the last 20 seconds. We mentioned it. Silva has the edge in takedowns. He'd love a third one here.
There's a slide by Coleman. Silva darts out of it.
10 seconds left now. 5 seconds to try and make a last move.
Silva circles back in.
And that is going to be after third period, heading into sudden victory. What's the key for either guy to come out on top with this, Sammy?
Well, each wrestler has to be smart with their attacks. Both of them have showed that they can capitalize off of each other's mistakes, so they have to be very tactical. You're likely going to see this first period not get any takedowns unless one of them surprises the other.
Silva, by no means, he's not expected to win this match. He is unranked. He has struggled this year. If he could somehow pull out an upset victory, this gym would explode, and all the momentum would be on the Cream and Crimson side.
He's following up on Graham Rooks, who got an upset in the first match here. Beating 2 ranked opponents in your first 2 would be huge for IU, but Coleman looking to avoid that reality. It's going to be an action.
Another action call out of bounds.
Going to go back into neutral.
Silva needs to be careful on that out of bounds line. As he keeps getting driven out of bounds, that's going to be an opportunity for Coleman to get a stall call in his favor. No takedown yet.
Silva.
As Coleman's in on a single leg, up to the hip, he whips out his arm and secures a 2-point takedown in overtime. Coleman with the victory.
Big for Coleman right there to close it out towards the last few seconds in that overtime, and brings today's contest back level 3-3, headed into the next matchup.